What's going on? What's going on? All right. You know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. What y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's really good with y'all? For those who have been sitting here looking at me the last 5 minutes, anybody who joins in this channel know I usually take 5 to let everybody come in the room before we really start busting on the topics. How was everybody's weekend, man? What's up with y'all, man? What up? Started farting. What's up with you? What's up with you? Yeah, as far as the house music goes, they tried to throw me a flag for that. I actually got a email, and they basically said that they didn't pull the video down, but they said it was something going on with playing the music. So you got the Cybertron robots out here monitoring what's happening with their artificial entity. So you know how that goes. They basically doing what they do. They patrolling the matrix. So as a result, I did not play house music tonight. I am anybody who knows, they heard that song Follow Me. It's my joint, Baltimore joint back in the day. I do like house music. Don't give a shit what anybody has to say about it. It's my shit. And as well as other various forms of music as well. I always think that keeping your mind open and being universal, you can absorb more from life if you keep an open mind and you absorb multiple facets. So yeah, there you have it. What up, Cooper? How you feeling? What's up with you? What's up with you? What up, Kev? How you feeling, man? Y'all been tuning in a lot lately. I greatly appreciate the support, man. So as you know, this is the first live I have done, I believe. Yeah, the first live I have done since I have had 1,000 subscribers. So I just want y'all to go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. We made it to 1,000, man. It is dope. I've been grinding for 3 years doing this. We recently just got into the esoteric knowledge. I always been into like stuff like this, but I guess I didn't have wind of it. So now we hitting the full throttle on it. So that's where we at with it. So you know how that goes. So yeah, house is feeling. Yo, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. So back in the day, I think this is about 2010. Me and my cousin took a trip down to Miami. And like, yo, I'd always wanted to go to like Miami because when I was young, I always heard it was dope there. Plenty of girls. The weather was nice. Like, I always wanted to go. So, like, yo, we spent a week in Miami. So I was down in Miami and I met this chick. She's a Filipino chick. Can't remember what her name was though. So I met the chick. She's hella cool. Like, yo, you approach different girls down there. If you ain't got a Ferrari or you ain't got a bunch of like diamonds on and stuff like that, chicks ain't trying to talk to you down there. You know how it goes. You in the area, it's high competition. You competing with, dudes as leaders of the mafia and shit like that. These dudes is really out here getting it. So, if you ain't one of them dudes, you're gonna have to basically operate differently. So we headed down the joint, and I ended up talking to this little Filipino chick, and she was pretty cool. So we hung out for a bit. We hung out like all day basically. So like I think I met her like in the morning or something like that, and like yo, we just hung out, got something to eat for real. I remember we went dancing, and yo, she was a professional dancer, like like hip hop dancer and jazz and all that's not the exotic dancing. I'm talking about like the real authentic dancing. So they had like a block party. That joint was dope. Like they had a live DJ and like it was only the two of us dancing at first. And I think I was about like 25 when this happened. This is a minute ago. So they start playing the music, yo. We grooving, like we dancing, grooving. It's just the two of us just kicking it. And like, yo, I'm dancing and like I swear I lost track of time, yo, because I looked up. It couldn't have been but like maybe I danced for like 45 minutes with this shit. Like we was going. And yo, I looked up and like next thing you know, it was like a whole entire block party. Like it was everybody was dancing. I'm like, yo, goddamn, what the hell happened? So we danced for like, I had been up there dancing for like 2 hours with this chick for real, man. So we kicked it or whatever. He's playing house music or whatever. So we start talking about music, and I basically told her, yo, because I made music back in the day. You see some of it on my channel if you look. But yeah, so we start talking about music, and she was like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. House music is real popular there. So I was like, yo, what you know about house music? Like, yeah, house music was the thing back in the 80s and the early 90s or whatever. They still play it down in some of the clubs. So yeah, I remember that joint. We was dancing to house music and all that stuff. So yeah, house music's cool, man. I ain't got no beef with it. But it's it's a vibe, yo. Like you listen to some of that stuff, it'll put you in a good mood, man. If you got the tolerance for open-mindedness, that stuff can put you in a good mood. Now the thing about it is, like with music, like yo, I would listen to All right, so when I was younger, I never really liked like State Property and Rockefeller and none of those dudes because like yo, that music, it just didn't vibe well with me. Like the shit was always about killing another black dude. That shit was always stupid to me. But I'm a hypocrite though because I would listen to Mobb Deep. Like yo, Mobb Deep is my dudes. But like yo, State Property and Jay Z and all of them, it was always about loading a nine and shooting one of your brothers or some shit like that. And that shit never really resonated with me in high school. So I was always the kind of dude that was listening to Tone Deaf, QN5 records, Substantial. I liked, of course, some Cannabis back then. Like I was into all other stuff, Idea, all kinds of stuff like that. I like the art form, but I just didn't like the negative message it was giving off. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was with that. So man, with the music, I just was always into listening to other stuff that made me feel good instead of shit that everybody else listened to. But I did like shit like Mobb Deep, that shit was dope. You know, I did like shit like some of those. I like 50. 50 was dope. There's a lot of dudes that was gun. Big L was another one that was slick. He rapped about guns all the time. So but yeah, mostly I like to listen to shit that was positive. So there you go. What up, Joseph? How you feeling, man? What's up, Daniel? What's up with you, man? Yeah, KK. Let me tell you about KK. She actually follows me here on this platform, yo. KK follows me on this platform. I used to listen to her stuff when I was a kid, back when the Ninja Turtles movies came out, and I always thought she was cool. And like, yo, the crazy thing about KK, yo, I thought, like, I listened to the music, I thought it was dope, but when I saw her, I was like, yo, I look like a boy. What the hell? So I'm like, I'm looking at like sideways. I'm like, kind of look like a girl. This is either a really soft looking dude or this is a cute girl. And I was like, yo, I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole because I don't swing that way. But then later on, I found out the chick was a girl. I was like, all right, yeah, she was actually good looking. Now that she's a girl, she was good looking. But nah, so as far as that goes, yeah, Rostawella, yeah, she follows me, man. As a matter of fact, there's a song on my YouTube. If you go back, it's called "Life Goes On," and she actually left a comment under there because I had jumped on her page and asked for her opinion on it. Few artists, Jada Kiss had heard the song, he approved of it. The Game heard it, he approved of it. She heard it, approved of it. And I sent it out to a bunch of artists just to see what they thought. So yeah, it was dope. But yeah, yo, that was that was dope though. It was real dope. But yeah, she messed with the joint. What's up with you? What's up with you? Yeah, she is pretty cool. Yeah, everybody did. See, the thing about it was, from what I understand, from what she had said out her own mouth on one of them radio stations, she said that the label wanted to market her as a boy because they figured it would sell better on those records. So I think the first two music videos she did, or maybe it was the first one, she wasn't actually in the joint. It was other people in the joint, and she just had the vocals. And then the next one, I think she was in. I think it was it You Are My Hero, I think it was. She was in that joint. So yeah, but yeah, she was dope. I liked her music, man. It should put you in a good mood, man. You could dance to that joint, man. It's cool stuff, man. Everything don't got to be, super hardcore. This, that, the third. Everything ain't got to be super lyrical. Some shit could just be laid back, man. And that's how I like the vibe. So the music is the music. Yes, sir. And over here in Baltimore, I mean, they ain't really big on house music either. They pretty much are. Baltimore's a very odd area because Baltimore likes whatever New York likes. So like, whatever's real popular in New York, it comes all the way down to the East Coast. So like, it'll start in New York and then it'll travel down to Jersey, then it'll of course Philly or whatever, and then Baltimore and then DC, and then it'll just go all the way down there. The interesting thing about it is though, when I went to Florida one time, like they were getting music before Baltimore, and they were further away from New York. I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you got. Hey, and she was smart because according to what she said, she didn't sign anything. She was like, "Yeah, I ain't signing jack. I already know how this industry is." She probably had somebody giving her good advice for that too. So whatever piece of the pie she got, she was able to keep sliding on it. That's what's up, though. Yeah, so he was asking me about that. The problem with the Knowledge World thing is, though, I'll be able to be there live because I train and I'll be having to do a lot of other stuff. So a lot of times when I do these lives, it's usually on Sunday night, but right before I head to bed. And I got a literally a full schedule. You can ask my man Courtney from Knowledge Well, he'll tell you like you literally will schedule something, and I'll be like, shit, I can't even do it because something came up. Like it was hard for me to nail down like a specific time, So like he's also on a different time span than I am. He's on, I think Pacific. I don't know. He's on a time over there in the Midwest, I believe. I'm on the East Coast. So there you have it. So interesting. I did talk to my man today. So I am in the process right now of authenticating my birth certificate and certificate of live birth. Yeah, Central Time. You're right, Cooper. You're right, Central Time. My bad. But yeah, I am in the midst of authenticating the certificate of live birth and birth certificate. So there you have it for that. He was giving out. I intended to do that anyway, honestly, after I got the passport situation taken care of. I intended to go ahead and do that anyway. So it was like, all right, the hell with it. I might as well go ahead and roll with that now. But yeah, so I went ahead and talked to him, and the process is actually very easy. And I had talked to interesting thing. I talked to a dude who gave me a number of a company who did it. So I called the company up and I asked him, I'm trying to authenticate my certificate of live birth. And he was like, where are you calling from? I said, well, yeah, I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. He was like, oh, no, we can't do birth certificates in the United States. I said, and I already knew, you believe me, I know the difference between America, United States, but she didn't know that shit. So I wasn't about to sit on there for an hour and trying to explain to her. She wouldn't have accepted that answer anyway. Most people ain't trying to hear that shit unless their back is against the wall, but you know how it is. So, yeah, so I ended up like, all right, well, I can't even do the joint. Then I spoke to him. And he was like, yo, you can actually do it yourself. You don't need to pay nobody to do it pretty much. So he went ahead and showed me how to take care of it. So, yeah, there you have it. No, I didn't write an affidavit. I did not write an affidavit. I basically filled out the document the way he said fill it out and went ahead and packaged everything up nicely. I'm preparing to send it out. He didn't say it was necessary, though. So if you know something otherwise, though, let me know. That's what's up. Yo, so let me ask you a question. I noticed I looked at one of them forms, and I believe the form didn't have the option to expedite on there. What the hell is up with that? Did they change the form or something? If I remember that the option to expedite was up I think it was at the top of the paper or something. Maybe I just don't remember properly. But I thought the option to expedite was at the top of the DS11 form. If they changed it, that's a whole other thing. But I could have sworn that shit was at the top to expedite. And I know when I went to go do my shit last year, I think I did mine last February or something like that. When I went to go expedite mine, they wouldn't let me expedite it because the pandemic had just happened. And they weren't letting anybody expedite any information like with stuff like that because there were so few employees. So they couldn't guarantee you they would get it back in a reasonable time. So they say, well, you just had to get it back when you get it back, but you can't expedite it. You can file, though. So I said, all right, well, I'll just file and it's just going to have to come when it comes. Man, I think I filed for that shit in February or March, further. It might have been March. I didn't get my shit till like early September, bro. Like literally, they sat on my shit that long. You can't imagine how fucking annoyed and anxious I was by that shit. Like you literally trying to get free of the system and you waiting for some information to help you out for that long, and you just basically playing by the rules and try not to stand out and shit until that shit happens. It's crazy. Yeah, low-level functionaries, they job doers, man. We talked about the job doers. I mean, you got people out there who are there to keep the machine rolling. This whole entire thing is basically a machine. It's all a machine. So like the people who refuse to wake up and continue to just keep the gears turning on the machine, they're the job doers. They're pretty much the people who are there to keep the entire all the wheels spinning pretty much. It can't function without blood, sweat, and tears enabling it to continue moving forward. So there you have it. So that's what the job doers are there for. You're always going to have job doers. You're always going to have job doers. That's why, I'm starting to, the more and more I start to think about this, I'm starting to think there was always a problem with like overstepping and shit like that. Like, I don't think it was ever a situation where the government was actually in check. Like they're always trying to do some shit to step over the line. And basically the Constitution was put there to remind you, hey, this is what it is. You might have to fight for this shit because these motherfuckers is not always gonna do what they're supposed to do. It's not the fact that this is what it was, and nobody overstepped back in the day, and slowly people just not paying attention. And nah, I don't think it was like that. I think they always was on some bullshit for real. That simple. They were always on some bullshit, and they always had to stand out against these ass faces. I mean, you got people still spending money from suing the shit out of the government for overstepping. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I looked at the form, and maybe it's me, because I could have sworn, maybe I missed it. I don't know, but I was helping my cousin out with his, and I looked at the top of his form, and it did not have the option to expedite. And he had just picked his form up, I think, like a month ago, and he had it sitting in his house waiting for me to come over. So I came over to help him out, and the expedition joint was not on there as an option. So it kind of makes me wonder if they changed it. FOI, yes. So what'd you do? What'd you do a FOI with, or on? What'd you do it for? What'd you do that for, Joseph? You gotta break that down, bro. If you don't mind talking about it, of course. I know some people don't like to put that shit out there like that, but you know how that goes. So, putting y'all on point. So here's what I did. I don't know if I told y'all already. When I got that ticket, or he tried to issue me a bogus fucking ticket, about almost 3 weeks ago now, I think. Since then, I filed hella affidavits, bro. I shoved affidavits up the chief of police ass, Melissa R. Hyatt. I shoved affidavits up what is it? The district court, I believe. Shoved the affidavits up their ass. And I shoved affidavits up Brian Frosh's ass, the Attorney General of Maryland. And I sent one out to Hogan, Governor Hogan. And anybody who lives in Maryland knows that Larry Hogan's a piece of shit. And he complete idiot, doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So I sent one to him, and these son of a bitches, I sent them certified mail, and these motherfuckers were not signed for it, so they refused that shit. Now, I don't know. That shit don't seem right to me. How the fuck are public officials refusing mail from the people? That don't seem right to me, yo. That doesn't seem right to me at all. That don't seem right. That seems like some suspect bullshit, honestly, to me. How the hell are you gonna refuse mail from the people that you work for? That's crazy. Vital records of written requests, private information they purposely exclude from. Oh yeah, really, really. So how does that work? You gotta break that down. How does that work? And what information are they hiding exactly? Because the one I have is pretty clear cut. Have okay. That's interesting, man. I gotta look into that. Oh, what the hell did I do? The wrong damn button. Yeah, that's interesting. I gotta take a look at that. Talking about both halves. Yeah, because I know, like, if you look at the certificate of live birth I have, when I looked at it, it looks like to me they definitely cut a section of it off at the bottom, but they did stamp it. They did have a stamp on there, raised seal, which basically means that it is an authentic copy. Yeah, I did know that. They have the consular. Where if Courtney was in here, he put it in here. But I actually have his number stored. The number stored on my phone to the consulate. So, like with that situation, if you ever get hemmed up or some shit like that, you just demand to speak to your consulate officer, and that police officer has to go through all the process of dealing with a foreign national. See, the thing about it is they try to sidestep that shit, and they try to pull up your license with your birthday and your name. They basically twist your name around and try to link you to the straw man or to link you to the legal fiction ans legis, and they try to pull that information up and attach the information to that. That's what they did with me. So, like I said, since then I've shoved up a whole bunch of affidavits, and he's gonna be pulling affidavits out of that probably for like the next couple of months, because I think I sent them like 60 pages each. So like it's gonna be a lot of people talking to each other about that shit. But you overstep jurisdiction, that's the fuck you get. You're supposed to stay in your lane. You go fuck with these U.S. citizens. You go fuck with these people who still sleep. You start fucking with people who have a understanding of what's going on. You got to pay for that shit. you know, thinking you big and bad, thinking that you got a badge and you U.S. corporate, you the shit. But at the end of the day, on paper, that shit's on paper for real. That shit ain't authentic or official. Please do. Please do. I want to hear that shit. So yeah, with the consular assistants, yeah, like yo, they actually literally have a whole entire it's like a phone line setup. Like you call it, join it's official. I called it. I was a little skeptical. I'm always skeptical at first. So I went ahead and dialed the number. And when I dialed it, I was pretty impressed with what I found. Like you call up the number and there's like an automated system and you press whatever number that you want to coincide with. So if it's like you want to speak to a representative, you can click that. If you want to know what the purpose of the consulate or the American National Consulate, you can click that. There's multiple purposes for it, you know. So yeah, I would recommend anybody who's here that's interested in doing that, hit up my man Knowledge Well Media or Knowledge Well on YouTube, and he can provide you with the information for that, along with the phone number. He's usually on the lives, but he ain't here tonight. He must be busy. So you know, people got families and stuff, man. We got jobs and families and ways of making money, running businesses, all kinds of stuff, you know. So as a result, people running around doing what they do. You know what I mean? Requesting a specific vital records to have in their possession. It doesn't work for public records, only private. Standard purpose. Yeah. I'm aware of what it is. I was just wondering what the hell they were omitting. Like, what are they taking off and why? Like, what are they hiding? You know, that's what I was curious about. But yeah, I understand what a Freedom of Information Act is. I know what that is. All right, so look, while he's getting that information, I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears a little bit. So here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. If you all right, cool, appreciate it. I'm gonna take a look into that. If you guys see, now I know everybody's been waiting on this Mortal Kombat movie. I'm gonna give you guys a word of advice. If you guys see a link for the Mortal Kombat movie that's supposed to be released next week in America, but it's out overseas right now. But if you see a link to watch it, do not watch that bullshit. Let me explain to you how I completely ruined my Mortal Kombat experience from watching this stupid shit. All right. I watched the copy of it pretty much somewhere, and it was completely terrible. Like it was so goddamn dark, you couldn't even see what was going on half the movie. And I'm not gonna give anything away because I don't do spoilers, but y'all can watch it yourself and tell me what y'all think. We had this discussion next week, maybe. But yeah, that shit is. Don't watch that shit. You'll just mess up your experience, bro. Like I literally wish I didn't watch that shit because it's terrible, man. Like yo, literally you can see people because basically it's the old school style where somebody sits in the audience with a camera and somebody's filming the whole thing, and you see people getting up and walking across the damn screen and stuff like that, which is not really that big of a deal, especially with something like that everybody's been waiting on. But yo, everything was dark. Like the movie is dark. Mortal Kombat is dark. So like a majority of the movie is not in like a lighter setting. You know, it's in caves and they're fighting in temples lit by one candle in the center of the room and stuff like that. You know. So yeah, if you do happen to stumble across that bad boy, you don't need to watch that. It's complete trash. Just go ahead and wait till the releases here. Yeah, it's sad though because man, like yo, you know what I thought, bro? I'm not gonna give, like I said, I ain't giving y'all no spoilers. I don't want to mess it up, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. Here's what I thought, yo. If we really look at what movies have came out since Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was absolutely horrible, and we're not counting Scorpion's Revenge because that was animated, but it was slick. If you haven't seen Scorpion's Revenge, please go check that out. It's definitely worth looking at it. But we're talking about the live action. Yo, so if we look at what movies have came out since Annihilation, there are traces that this movie could be great. So here's the thing. We look at, let's say, Ip Man, for instance. If anybody's seen Ip Man, all of them, as a matter of fact, the fighting scenes were A1. So it's like, all right, the bar has already been set for fighting scenes via Ip Man. Mortal Kombat is a combat hand-to-hand movie. They need to have fighting scenes equal to or better than that, or at least almost as good. All right. Then you look at, okay, as far as gore and stuff like that goes. All right, you look at movies like Hostel. Hostel is violent as shit. That movie's beyond violent. It's dark and violent too. So it's not just, somebody got hit by a car. Nah, that shit is dark. So yeah. So there you have it for that. So that bar set the bar for goriness, along with others like Saw and all those other movies that was pretty much like dark horror, gory dark horror. So all right, that set the bar for that. But then you go and you look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how everything's put together and how it's broken down individually and everybody has their own movie to build up to one great story. So that set the bar. So with all these bars set high, I figured there was no possible way they could fuck this up. Like, yo, Mortal Kombat literally has its own universe. There was no way you could fuck this up. But guess what? Lo and behold, I ain't gonna say no more, man. I ain't gonna say no more. Y'all check it out yourself. Don't watch the shit that just came out. Just wait for the real shit come out. Because I kind of wish I didn't watch that motherfucker. Because now I'm just a little agitated. That copy was so bad. I had to watch Deadpool 2 afterwards so I can remember what a good movie looks like. I'm telling you, man. I was a little upset by it. My man. No, I didn't, yo. I need to look into that. Hold up. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna look into that right now. All right, I subscribed to him just now. Taking your advice. Look like they got some good stuff on there, so I'm gonna take a look at it. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say about that. You can't have her in it without her sister, and I'm gonna leave it there because I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. So like, yo, it didn't fit. The shit wasn't. It didn't work out. It wasn't copacetic. You can't half-ass it, yo. Like, motherfuckers waited 26 years for that movie, yo, and you gonna give us this shit? Fuck you, man. Yo, fuck you, man. Yo, they need to do, whoever the writer was, they need to release the director's cut because that was unacceptable. And I didn't like it. So I'm gonna watch it again, though, but hey, fuck that. That shit was A1 garbage, bro. Without profit, you land low, man. You staying out of trouble, bro. I hope you are, man. Hope you land low and staying out of trouble. Moving around quietly. not taking it to him too hard, Exactly. Yeah, you can't. No, that. I don't know, man. Hey, I'm gonna leave it there, yo, because I don't want to spoil it too much. But it was very disappointing. I'm gonna leave it there. Very disappointing. I did see the Captain America and Falcon joint though, and that story has gotten. I don't want to. I don't. If you haven't seen that, I don't want to spoil that either. But I will say this: everybody kind of knew it was going to go how it went. It was going to be Bucky, and it was going to be the Falcon versus your boy Walker, the Captain. We already saw that shit happening. This is going exactly the way we thought it would. But I will say this: I'm interested to see how that costume is going to look on the Falcon, because everybody knows in the comics it's white and it leaves the head part showing, and he's got the shield and all that, which is cool. But I'm interested to see what they're going to do to it here, because they always change some shit a little bit for the live screen. Nothing's exactly like it is in the comic books, so, and it never is. That's why I like fan-made stuff. Yeah, the Avengers is tough, man. All the Avengers is tough. Like, yo, I'm a comic book guy. I like the Avengers a lot. I just want to see a good X-Men movie, man, with some effort put into that. To be honest, that's what I like to see. A good quality X-Men. There he is right there, man. Drop that consulate number in there, Court. How you feeling, bro? Drop that consulate number in there. We just talked about your consulate. We had a guy inquisiting about that. Probably about like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, drop that number in there for the American National Consulate. So we can all be on the same page for that. But yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't like that, yo. And here's why I didn't like it, man. I didn't like the actors. Like the guy that played Professor X, like he's one of those guys in Hollywood who you see and you know you saw him before somewhere, but you can't put your finger exactly where you saw him. And I don't think somebody like that should be playing Professor X. It's gotta be a cat that you're very familiar with. I didn't like any of the actors in that joint. Nah. So I think their best bet would be to just let the Marvel Disney universe have full control over X-Men and let them do it right. Because at this point, I don't think it could be I don't think it's one of those situations where you can just let them try to fix that shit. I know Disney bought them out anyway, so like Disney's also has control of Deadpool, which means we might finally get to see a Wolverine and Deadpool with a shit. Who else? They could probably put maybe the Avengers in it or something like that. That'd be interesting. Yeah, that's unlikely, man. That's unlikely. I don't believe that. From what I'm seeing, I don't believe that at all, man. I would need to see evidence of such. I don't believe that. Disney is making some moves, man, right now. I know that app is trash, though. I will say that. Every time I want to use that app, there's always some issue with it, yo. The app is never copacetic. Yo. You go to rewind this shit, the shit just completely dumbs out on you. There's the number right there, folks. I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. So anyway, what we talk about? What we talk about? All right, so look, getting the in the process of getting the birth certificate and the certificate of live birth authenticated. No question knowledge. Well, I just had somebody ask me, does an affidavit need to be included with that information that you're sending in to them to authenticate your certificate of live birth and birth certificate? Do you need any kind of affidavit included? Because like I don't think you do. We didn't talk about that at all, and it doesn't seem like you do. Reading the website, it's pretty clear cut and straightforward how they would do. So I don't think that's the situation. It looks like you can do it online. Apparently, you gotta mail that stuff in. So nah, I don't think so, bro. See, that's what I thought. No affidavit. You don't need an affidavit for that. Affidavits are not. I don't think they're required for stuff like that. Honestly. Exactly. Like, yo, what do you? Huh? Like, what? Oh, bro, really? Yo, did you know? Did y'all know that Disney actually owns a part of Florida itself, and they have their own jurisdiction, and they have their own police, and it centers around the Disneyland or Disney World, whatever the hell it is down there. But they have their own jurisdiction and their own police, Disney police. Did you know this shit? Like, yo, literally, there's reports of kids, shit happening to kids all the time, and they import these kids from all over the world to come and work from them from other nations. And there's reports of sexual abuse, but nothing ever gets done about it because the nearby counties are told about what's happening, and they say we can't do nothing. You'd have to contact the Disney police within that jurisdiction, and when they report it to Disney police, nobody ever does shit about it. Interesting stuff, man. Take a look at that. Hey, creativity. I doubt it. I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think they're riding the comic book wave, yo. I mean, it's easy money. You take the comic, you adapt it to film, you don't fuck it up, which they've done a good job of, which is not easy, apparently. Not fucking it up is pretty damn difficult, apparently. Not everybody can do that shit. But no, they riding the cash cow, man. They riding that cash cow. So no, I don't think so. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, with their whole entire jurisdiction, like, yo, how in the flying hell can Disney have their own police officers in real fucking life? Like they have their own jurisdiction and all that, yo. How is that possible? And then you say, well, we know how it's possible. And you can say money, you can say power, control, corruption, whatever. But this goes to show, this backs up exactly what we're talking about. The jurisdiction shit, this backs it up. So let me ask you a question. If you're born in on Disney property for somehow, are you from Disney? Like, where are you from? Are you from the Republic of the United States of America? Are you a representative of the United States Corporation? Or are you from Disney? If they got their own jurisdiction, how does that work? These are questions we need to answer, yo. Because, like, yo, I'll wait for a cat to say he from Disney. What? Really, literally, yo, they got their own. Look that shit up, man. It's in Florida. It's in Florida, man. The dude is a what is it? How do you even say that? Like American, a Disneyan, or how do you how do you say that, yo? A Disneyer. How would you say that? How would you put that shit? Private contract. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, we know it's a private contract, but if we start talking about jurisdiction and shit like that, I mean, does that become like, is it under the same rule as if you go in somebody's house? Is that how that works? And what if you're born there? Where are you born at? Are you born in the United States, or are you born in the Republic of the United States of America, or are you born in Disney? How does that work? I'm curious. I legitimately want to know. No, and yeah, well, imagine somebody getting a Disney passport, yo. How crazy would that be? Like, you got non-Disney nationals around that motherfucker, like dudes who were legitimately born on the land and don't classify themselves as actual Disneyans. Hey, yo, could you imagine, like, yo, a Disney police officer pulling somebody over and they pull out a non-citizen Disney national passport? Then they start arguing about jurisdiction. Like, oh, mom, you don't have jurisdiction over me, man. Oh shit, that's crazy to me. Like, yo, and it just goes to show, like, the power scale is just all fucked up, man. It's completely lopsided, yo. Stupid, yo. It's completely stupid. Oh man, that's wild. You're a wish upon a star. Somebody's a Disney, and I'm from Disneyland, boy. Where dreams are made of, boy. What you talking about? Yeah, that's maritime jurisdiction, though. Born in the middle of the sea, that's maritime jurisdiction, I believe. I'm a real boy. Yeah, it's maritime, I believe. Mennonites being born on their land. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a wild thought though, man. Like, yo, they're so powerful. They got their own police. Like, yo, how entirely strong do you have to be to have your own police force? That is wild, man. That's some crazy shit. Color authority, yeah. I mean, but technically, all of it sits on top of the republic. So, I mean, how easy would it be to eat something like that up in court? You know, these motherfuckers got their own goddamn. That's wild. So, like, let's really look into that, yo. They got their own police. They probably have their own judges and shit too. I can imagine all their judges and stuff like that are probably all on payroll. I mean, but is that really the same thing though? Walmart, if we comparing Walmart police to Disney police, that's like a completely different thing. Cause like, yo, Walmart, you can't really compare Walmart to Disney in terms of like the land, because that is in the store itself. But I mean, you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Maybe that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they own the land, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. They own the land pretty much. So like, yo, I've heard stories about like tunnel paths and stuff like that you can get inside Disneyland for free. You don't have to pay, and they never patch them up for whatever weird reason. But there's actually ways The one in Florida. I'm not sure about the one in Cali, but apparently there's ways you can actually get inside Disneyland itself without having to pay, like back sections and tunnels you can go through. I wouldn't trust them tunnels. Fuck that shit. Too easy to go missing. Fuck around, cut through one of them tunnels and you get a giant hand on your shoulder and you never come out the other end. Fuck that shit. You couldn't pay me enough to go in one of them tunnels. Not without bearing arms anyway. That's interesting. That is interesting. Huh. That is very interesting. I gotta look into that. That's dope, yo. That's some crazy shit for real. But yeah, private contracts, like you said, private contracts that goes into trusts and all that other stuff. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back, yo. Yo, that's wild, yo. That is interesting. So they're a micronation then. They're a micronation. That's precisely what's going on. That sounds like a micronation to me. That means their land is allodial. That's a micronation. Property on top of land with Disney World. Yeah. That jurisdiction stuff is crazy, man. Like, yo, you literally can just like step 1 foot in the wrong direction and be in a whole nother jurisdiction. Like, bro, what? Oh man, that is wild. But if you really think about it, though, I heard some other stories about places like Coca-Cola. Like if you work at Coca-Cola, you literally can't be seen holding any Pepsi products, or you will be fired on the spot, like on a property at all. That sounds like almost the same damn thing for real. That's private contract. That's private contract right there. That's crazy. So yeah, man, that is that that's wild. So here's the thing. I've done some reading about being pulled over and stuff like that. So apparently, from what I've read, the information I need to look up exactly where I read this because I read so much information. It's hard to remember what came from where. But there was something I read very interesting, and they basically said that police are only supposed to use their lights to for emergencies only. It's not supposed to be to pull you over for stupid shit. Like if it's an emergency, like let's say you're swerving or something like that about to hit cars in endanger the public safety. That's the only time they're actually supposed to use their lights to pull you over. Not supposed to be pulling you over for tags and stupid ass shit like that, or stuff that's irrelevant to actually what's going on for people's safety. So with that said, that would basically make a shit. Honestly, that probably make about 75% of the stops I've ever had in my whole entire life have been bullshit. Like simple shit like that, like yo, stuff we need to know. So when pulled over, I was thinking about reading this. I was reading this one thing, the strategy, where he basically said, "Hey, you should ask first, what's the emergency?" Because they're not supposed to use their flashing lights or anything unless there's an emergency. So basically, you basically say, public servant, what's the emergency? Pretty much. And then go from there. But that pretty much puts them on point that you might know what the fuck you're talking about. But of course, some police will take that as a challenge and they'll get offended because they all have really fragile egos for some weird reason. It's all about an ego and all about dominance and all that other garbage that nobody gives a shit about but them. But yeah, so like you asked, like, what's the emergency, when they stop you? Now, always remember, man, when you get pulled over by these guys, don't be arguing out here with them because at the end of the day, they got the advantage. If you're not getting nowhere with the underling job doer, ask for the supervisor. Don't demand. Ask for, tell them I would like the supervisor, pretty much. And you exercise your Fifth Amendment right to not speak until that supervisor gets there. But make sure you declare you're exercising your Fifth Amendment right. You can't just exercise it and not say shit. Well, you can, really. But I mean, it's better to go ahead and just say so instead of just staying quiet and looking at them. But if you already say I don't answer questions, you only need to really say it once. You don't have to keep repeating that shit. This is for informational purposes only. This is not to be construed as legal advice. I don't give legal advice. If you need legal advice, you should seek one of Caesar's attorneys to help you out with it. But with that said, definitely want to be on some shit where you just reserving all your rights at all times. If you have your tag on there that says you're traveling, pretty much, you've already given notice to the public, which, once you've given public notice, it becomes fact. So if they try to drag you in jurisdiction, that's basically deprivation of rights under color of law. Once you have that, you can pretty much start, yanking them around by the chain with that if they try to overstep. And what I mean by that is there's ways that you can actually file tort claims on these police officers for overstepping jurisdiction. And from what I've read from the Department of State's letter to North Carolina, which we went over before, that basically labels a $200,000 to $300,000 fine per tort claim per offense. So if you have somebody that believes you're driving, when you tell them you're traveling, and they insist you're driving, they insist you get out the car, they insist on searching your car illegally, they insist on searching you illegally, they insist on detaining you, and they insist on doing all this other shit that's completely against any law that's ever been created in terms of Supreme Court case law or other district court case law, whatever case law has been declared that's important for this particular situation. Those particular facts will aid you in your quest for a remedy or retribution, whatever you want to call it. So it's per offense. So, like, man, you could easily walk away with like a $2.5 million lawsuit over somebody telling you to get out your car, searching your car illegally, running your car, detaining you for longer than 25 minutes, towing your shit. That's a huge fuck up right there because that's theft. And then the tow truck's in some shit. The tow truck driver just stepped in some shit. He get in a situation where he's towing your car illegally. You put him on point and say, bro, you're towing my shit illegally. I understand this public servant is telling you to do such, but if you decide to steal his car, you will be held responsible too. Of course, they're not going to listen because they scared of police also. And a lot of them have some kind of agreement set on behalf of, making money or, paying fines or percentages and shit. Like all that shit is commerce. So, it becomes a situation where they're trying to get money off each other. So when that happens, hey, look, you just stepped in some shit too. Now you're getting hit with a lawsuit. And if you can't pay it, I now have a tow truck and a tow truck company. I now have a yard full of cars. I now have an office. Because you can't pay it. So therefore, I'm going to put a lien on your possessions. So there you have it. Wait, what? Hold on, what? Well, we all know jurisdiction is nothing more than right words, but I'm hearing if you have your DNA altered by GMO from, let's say, Monsanto, they can claim you. So with that said, Tan Wheel Bay, how would they know that? How would they know that your DNA has been altered? First off, your body is completely sovereign. They cannot claim your body. That's just retarded. That's a violation of natural law. Now you messing with the universe. God, Most High, whatever you believe in, that's a violation of natural law. When you start violating natural law, you going way past papers and courts and all that other shit. You now messing with the universe. And let me just explain something to you. There is no possible way from violating natural law they would be able to continue operating the way they operate. Like continuous violations of natural law. Like, no. I think that'd be a complete fuck up to whatever they're trying to set or establish. It would topple because they have to leave that way out for you. They can't force you to do anything. That's why they can't force you to get these vaccinations. They can only make life a pain in the ass if you don't, to compel you to get it, but they can't force it. They can't come in your house and shove a needle in your arm, believe it or not. Yeah. You know how that goes, though, man. You know how that goes. certain terms less frequently. Exactly, like travel and shit. They be trying to act like they don't even know what that word means. Like, nigga, what? What are you talking about? You're driving. They be trying to get you to admit you're driving. Like, they will literally try to force you to say you're driving and try to trick you and shit like that. They'll do anything, yo, to try to get you to admit that you're driving because that gives them jurisdiction. They know they don't have jurisdiction. I'm, dude. They say they don't. They say police thought they're just doing their jobs, but I swear they're trained for this. There's no way they're not trained to know they don't have jurisdiction unless you give it to them because they always try to get you to admit that shit. That's dope, man. That's dope. Movement licenses. Right. Right. So what exactly happened with that Prophet? Which one is that, yo? You gotta break that down, bro. Because I literally just filed a bunch of affidavits. So when I got that bullshit ass ticket, when dude said I was driving, but I already put the public on notice that I was traveling, and I haven't seen that shit come up yet. And back in the day when I used to get a ticket, I think the last ticket I got for like any kind of moving issue was, jeez, I had a ticket in a long time. My last ticket was probably like 2007 or maybe 8 or something like that. But yo, last time I got a ticket, yo, that shit usually takes about 5 days before you get a summons to court. They send that shit right to your motherfucking house. Like, yo, yeah, bring your ass in here so we can get some money. But yo, after I filed them affidavits, let me tell you what I did. For anybody that's watching, if you do get in a situation, this is what I did. All right, this is working for me so far. I got the ticket on, I think it was an Easter Friday, Good Friday, something like that. I got the ticket, which government was closed on Friday anyway. So I got the ticket that Friday night. And it's 3 business days you have to send that ticket back. So Saturday and Sunday didn't count because those aren't business days. Monday was the first business day. So by the time Monday ran around, I already had all my shit typed up, all my affidavits prepared, all my shit in envelopes. That way I can just have that shit sent out certified mail. I took the ticket that I was actually given by the police. Police officer. What is this? I don't like calling them officers because they weren't elected. They weren't elected officials, so they're not really officers. The constable on patrol. So I took the actual ticket itself and I stamped it with this right here. And I've told you guys to get online and get one of these. You can get right on Amazon and you can get yourself one of these stampers. This is what the stamp says. You get yourself one of these. I think I spent about like $40, but it's worth every goddamn penny. Now they use this material on purpose for those tickets. If you've ever gotten one of the tickets that you don't have to sign, it's like a plastic material. So stamps don't really like it that much for that particular ticket. So I stamped it. It kind of smeared, but I still signed it in purple, which purple is royalty pretty much. Or you can blue also. Blue is a signature of a living being. So I signed it without prejudice, UCC 1308, and signed my name underneath and sent it back to the what the hell was it? I think it was the court clerk, I believe. So I sent that shit back like before the 3 days even started really, because that Friday didn't really count. So sent it back to them. I think they got it Tuesday. So I haven't seen shit about it at all. I also filed I sent a cease and desist letter too. That's very important. I sent a cease and desist letter. Let me read to you exactly what my cease and desist letter says so you can know what I told them. And this is all informational stuff, so you can have this for your own benefit. Cease and desist. Here it is right here. And this letter works. I've used this shit for like collections notices and everything. So it says, private. This is not a public communication, such and such, such and such, such and such. All that right there. And this is a universal one I use for everything. This isn't one I particularly use for them. But mine says, it basically attached your certificate, birth certificate, or your certificate of live birth, rather, not your birth certificate, your certificate of live birth. You want to include your foreign national state citizen passport. There's the fact that I am a natural born state citizen of Maryland in its constitutional capacity as one of the several states of the Union, and I am an inhabitant thereof. It is a fact that my birth certificate is proof that I am a state citizen of Maryland. See attached birth certificate. It is a fact that my state citizenship of Maryland has been certified by the United States Department of State. See attached copy and passport. It is a fact that I am not a U.S. citizen, resident person, or individual, or any other legal fiction, nor have I ever been. It is a fact that I explicitly reserve all of my rights always and forevermore. It is a fact the United States, with the intent of great deception, used the term United States citizen to deprive the people of their rights, their birthrights, their property, and freedom, and furthermore to relegate the status of the people to that of livestock. I owe you nothing, nor do you have any jurisdiction over me. Your constant unceasing letters from your satellite departments that harass, threaten, attempts at coercion, scare tactics, stalking, and all other actions are depriving me of my right to tranquility guaranteed by the preamble of and the rest of the Constitution for the United States of America. You are violating RICO laws, stalking laws, depriving rights under color of law, as well as common law and Constitution. Your acts are also acts of treason and tyranny. I order you to cease and desist all activities against me. And there you have it. So that's pretty much what I sent out. So that is what I sent, and I haven't received anything in conflict to that. It's hard. It's kind of hard to get around some shit like that. You know what I mean? Maybe better off just going ahead and saying, you know what, fuck this guy. It's too much. I do not accept. I do not consent. And they sent it back saying it wasn't and couldn't be filed. The electronic signature I signed with the 1308 as well. That's badass. So did you sign that with the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles? Because I'm hearing that they're not letting you do that. Somebody has said that they don't let you do that because they know what it means. You have to sign it with just your bare signature. You can't put the UCC 1308 without prejudice on it. Yeah. So the guy, here's the thing. He knew exactly because he was back there talking to somebody on that radio that knew what the fuck was going on. They probably told him to just go ahead and write the ticket anyway and let the court handle it, which they do. But so whoever he talked to, they told him not to basically do anything else. Don't tow my shit because they couldn't. That's theft. So basically, what happened was the guy got mad because I wasn't answering on his questions. I basically told him. He tried to say, why are you driving, watching the video?" I said, "I'm not watching the video." I should have said I'm not driving either, but I didn't. So he tried to bombard me with questions. They don't want to give you a chance to think and shit. So dude was like, "License and registration." So I gave him the passport card. I was like, "That's all I have right there." And so he was like, where's your you saw the video. He was like, "Yo, where's your goddamn registration and where's your such and such?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all I got right there. That's what I have right there. That's what I said like 5 times." He got mad and stormed off and shit. So he got on his horn. I know what happened. He got on his horn and talked to his little sergeant or some shit like that. And then this dude came over and was like, "Oh, I need to run the VIN, such and such," which they're not even supposed to do that anyway. But I should have had my VIN covered up. But that's my fault for forgetting to cover the VIN like a dumbass. And I didn't have my paperwork in the car too. And anybody who saw my older videos, they know that I keep my paperwork in the car with me usually. But thing is, I had 2 cars, so I always moved the paperwork back and forth, and I left it in the other car. But I fixed that now because I have paperwork in both of them now. So we're all armed and dangerous. So yeah, so basically dude couldn't do shit about the tag. So he gave me a fucking ticket for driving without a Maryland tag, which it clearly said on my car that I wasn't driving. So it's basically a bogus ticket. And I didn't give him a license. So he attached the DMV did not remove my information from the records as per my request, or maybe they're moving too slow and haven't done it yet. I don't know. But apparently my information was still on the computer, so he pulled up the information that was on the computer and attached it to that. But I never gave him a license, so that shit was also fraud. Wait, what? They took your vehicle for what? Hold on. Your registration was expired? All right, hold on. Let me go back here. All right, we got to start from here. Yeah, my van was uncovered and they saw it was unregistered and towed it. After I got some things organized, I'm going to go after that department. Hold on, how did wait, what? Hold on. So you gave me your passport, obviously, and they just told your shit after they ran your VIN. That's crazy. That's overstepping right there. That's huge overstep. They fucked up on that. Your registration was expired. Okay. I sent it back to the clerk of the county. They took my vehicle. That's crazy. Yeah, that's overstepping though, man. I mean, you got your guys that overstep, but I mean, there's huge ramifications for overstepping. And you can get paid some cheese off of that too. If you've already filed everything like you need to for real, put everybody on point that you need to put on point. I would suggest hollering at James C. Lovett, the Bad Wolf, get his affidavit of nationality and send that to the police chief and the county clerk and all. Put everybody on notice so it's no question. If y'all fuck up, this shit is already right there. It's already been notarized. Ain't no excuses. If y'all fuck up, y'all are gonna pay me everything I want you to pay me. And then you just get some cheese and take your ass to fucking Vegas or something or Brazil or some shit like that. Have a good time. Master Mortgage. Yeah, I need to get into that too. I started reading on it like a few weeks back, but I got bombarded with so much different shit. It's overwhelming, honestly. Like when you start getting into this stuff, man, it's just so much knowledge. You got to pace yourself, man, because you can get overwhelmed if you do too much. But you definitely need to look into that, Will. You're right. Stand by on that, though, man. Thank you. Oh no, see the thing about it, Cooper, bro, they can technically do whatever they want because there's nobody governing them on the streets. They can do whatever the hell they want to. They can take your fucking keys and drive your shit somewhere if they want to. And it is driving because they're operating in commercial capacity. So yes, they can take your keys. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I remember back when I was younger, I seen the police pull this guy over. This is like 2003, I think. It was me. It was all right. So I had a 2003 Mitsubishi Evo. Everybody knows what that car is. It's a Lancer Evolution. It was only three guys who had them in that city. It was me, this other black guy, and there's this white boy who had a yellow one. So they ended up running up on this guy down at the little car meet we used to hang out at. And they pulled this guy out of his car. And when they pulled him out, it was like him and like two girls and another dude. So it was four of them. They pulled them all out. They locked them all up in handcuffs and shit like that. They were locked up in handcuffs. And they had liquor and shit in the car. So it's like, oh, y'all motherfuckers is going to jail. Yeah, y'all think y'all so hard. Y'all got this car. It's a nice car. Give me the keys. This cop jumped in his shit and jumped in his car and was burning his clutch all the way up and down the street, bro. Nigga, yo, man, these police can do a lot of shit they're not supposed to do. And that's only because they go unchecked for doing it. They know nobody's there to check them. So that's what we here for, man. You know, they're not supposed to do shit like that, but they do it. So here's the thing about that. Like, you got to have your shit registered. Here's how I would recommend doing it, honestly. Now, if there's a better way, y'all can let me know. But as far as I know, if you do this process, it's probably best to do it on a car that you've already had insurance on. That way you can do whatever you got to do to cancel the registration or whatever, and you can go ahead already got insurance on it, then you can do your process. That way you're traveling and your car is still covered. You know what I mean? But if there's a better way to do it, you can go ahead and put that in the comment section. But yo, another thing I've heard that if you use your passport card to get an insurance rate, it's actually cheaper if you use the letter and the number under the photo. Apparently, yo said I ain't got time for that. Yeah, yeah. There you have it. There you have it. Or at least you can't present those documents to them. You can't present those documents to because if you present proof of insurance, you're contracting with them because that has the address on it and it has your straw man on it or your legal fiction ends legis. So yeah, you're contracting. So yes, he's right. That's commerce. That is commerce. Holler at my man Young Prophet. He got a non-citizen national affidavit. If you need him, holler at him. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, they pulled you in that jurisdiction. They stole your car basically. Because if you didn't, so hold on. You gave him a license? Hold on. You gave him a license. Why you didn't give him a passport card, man? You should have gave him a passport card. Why would you give him a license? Okay. You should have gave him a passport card. That's what I would have done anyway. Yeah, he right. Insurance is for commercial vehicle and purposes. Yeah, that's true. That's interesting shit. I mean, these dudes are dirty as hell, man. These motherfuckers are dirty. There's ways around all that shit, man. And it's a dirty game, yo. But I mean, that's part of the game. It's part of what we doing, man. That's why we fighting. We standing up for our rights. We just got to know how to do so. But he's right. Knowledge well is right. You can't have any of that shit. You know what, man? I sent my UCC1 filing statement out to Maryland's UCC department, and these pieces of shit never filed it. They probably threw that shit in the trash while they was laughing. Fucking goddamn Baltimore, man. Fucking joke, yo. It's always some bullshit with them. But nah, I never even got a chance to do a UCC3 because they never took my UCC1 and filed it. I've been looking my name up in the system to see if it was filed, and I included another little envelope in there so they could send me proof that the UCC1 was filed so I can put it on record. They never did. I thought about doing it online though, so I'm still pondering that shit. But no, I didn't do that. My man Taquan. My man, what up with you, big bro? Goddamn right you're in the system. They got that sound. Let me explain to you how SoundX works in case y'all youngins don't know. So obviously, we know they're dealing with legal entities, but they can't actually use your real name. So they have something called Soundex, and what Soundex basically is, they've found like some kind of special algorithm to say your name without actually pronouncing it through a different combination of codes. That's what Soundex is. So if you look next to your license picture and it has a letter, and then it has, I think the letter is usually the first digit of your family name, what they call it a last name because they translated it word to knowledge world. They translate your name, and right next to the right side is a system or a sequence of numbers, and the numbers are basically the computer's pronunciation. So that's how they pull your name up via Soundex, and it's not your name; it's your ens legis. So that's how they get you with the Soundex. Yes, if you have a Soundex in there, they will pull you up on it. That's how they got my shit. A copy. You gave him a copy of your license, bro. Why, yo? Why you didn't just give him the passport, man? I ain't laughing at you. I'm just saying, like, I never heard somebody give him a copy of a license. I mean, shit, you'd be better off not giving them nothing then. You know, that's what it sounds like. Yeah. See, the thing about it, bro, if you don't have if you don't have your passport card, bro, just be on best behavior until you get that shit. Because you giving them licenses and shit like that, it ain't happening, bro. You better off just waiting and getting your shit completely straight before you try to put half foot in, half foot out. Because that's when you get your foot bit. I mean, you can still get your foot bit even with all your shit right. You saw what happened to me. So yeah, there you go. Be careful, man. Be careful with that, Yosef. Yeah, I don't argue with him, bro, at all. I don't argue with no goddamn pigs, yo. I don't argue with no cops. I don't argue with none of them. I just give them the passport card. They be wanting to argue and shit. That's debtor shit. We ain't debtors, we creditors. You know what I mean? That's debtor shit. All that arguing back and forth, that shit for court, and I don't belong in your court. So you can argue all you want. I'm just gonna sit there and look at you like you're retarded and hand you this passport card. And that's gonna be the end of it. You know what I mean? Now, if you ask me a question, I'll answer it, depending on what it is, maybe if I want to answer it. Now, why would I send it to New York when we have a UCC department here in Maryland? Why would I need to do that? Yeah, yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, my man literally copied a piece of paper and slid it to him. Like, bro, I wouldn't have done that, honestly. I'd be better off not giving him shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. One time I was on a fucking highway and I was doing a thing, nigga. When I was younger, I was wild. This is why I ain't need this kind of information when I was younger. I was on a highway when I was younger, bro. I was doing like 100. I want to say I was doing like a buck 50 because I had that Evo boy, I had that turbo on that bitch, man. We just did a bunch of upgrades. That motherfucker was fast as shit. Had a bigger intercooler on it. Had the what was it? It was a AFC fuel control system or something like that, yo. Bruh, that shit was quick. So I went and put that shit on there, man, and I'm on the highway doing like a buck 50, gunning. And this is like, every weekend we had like car show meetups and we would race on the way up to the next spot when the cops came. So we would race each other and shit. I'm over there racing my boy with a WRX. So I'm getting it, balling up the road, yo, buck 50. And my dumb ass forgot I left my goddamn wallet home. I didn't even have my license on me. So this goddamn cop gets behind me. I'm like, fuck. So I go to pull over. And so this dude comes up and he asked me, do you have any idea how fast you were going? I said, no. So he says, license and registration. So I said, I checked for my license, like, fuck, I don't have my license. I was like, oh man, I don't have my license on me. I left it home. He said, do you even have a license? I said, yeah, I got one, but I don't have it on me. He said, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Slow this shit the fuck down. And then he left and shit. I got lucky on that one. Cause they're over 100. They told you shit. They supposed to take your shit for real. But then I realized I didn't contract with him. I guess maybe he didn't feel like fucking with me. So like that was it. But that shit was crazy though. But yeah, I didn't contract with him because I didn't give him no I didn't tell him I was speeding and I didn't give him a license. So what shit he could do, I guess. I don't know. I mean he could have done something, I guess. Yeah, we talked about that before. The certificate of origin. What up, Tony? How you feeling, bro? Y'all having a combo up in this bitch. Hold up. Oh, okay, I see. I mean, honestly, bro, if you can't get your passport card back fast enough, you might be better off get one of the Moorish IDs for real because they use those and those, from what I understand, work just as good somehow, which it gives them information, but it doesn't link them up to that Soundex number they need. I know a boy my boy does them. I have yet to get one from him though. Yeah, certificate of origin. Yeah, so Courtney was telling me about that basically. So you got to really have your shit in order to get your certificate of origin. Like apparently, whenever you have something that's made or created, um, the certificate of origin. Let's say for your car, for instance, the title you have for your car isn't the actual title. So that's actually it's kind of like a dummy title, if you will. You're not allowed to have the actual title. The actual title is only for you know apparently the age of majority, from what he was saying. If you reach the age of majority, then you can actually have the certificate of origin, which is the shit you really want because that's the actual ownership proof. Yeah. Hey, man, yo, this crazy though because that shit is right there. This is one of their statutes they're supposed to be enforcing and upholding, and they don't even obey that shit. I done seen these goofy motherfuckers literally use their lights just to be the light. Like, bro, I don't see these bastards almost kill people just to get through a damn light, putting their lights on and stuff. Like, oh, bro, why? Why, bro? Is it really that serious? Do you really need to get the Dunkin' Donuts that bad that you have to almost hit people and put your lights on? The fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah, but you gotta have your shit set up right for that though, right, William? I would think you have to have like your stuff absolutely correct for that. You can't just go in and being like a little U.S. citizen or some shit like that and just be like, yeah, I need that the certificate of origin. And then suppose the dealership, like let's say for instance, I wanted to get, let's say I still had that car I was talking about earlier, the Evo. Let's say I wanted to get a certificate of origin, but yo, that dealership, I got that shit from Fox Chevrolet on from no Fox Mitsubishi on Security Boulevard back in 2003. Yeah, it was security. It was Fox Mitsubishi on Security Boulevard, and everybody in Maryland or Baltimore area knows where that is. I got that joint from them. How would I go about getting the certificate of origin if they closed years ago? They closed around like 2008, I think. So one of my subscribers recommended me get some of this stuff called BreatheX. And what I do is I don't like taking pills. So what I do is I crack the pills open like a fiend and shit, and I fill my water up with them. And I crack three of them open and I put it in my water and I shake the water up real good and I drink them. It's like a vitamin water kind of, but it works pretty good for my sinuses. My sinuses have been cleaning up a lot. Noticed like early in the cast, my sinuses were bothering me, so I poured some of this water right here, and it's been working out pretty good. It's just the water's goddamn crunchy as hell. It's like particles stuck in my mouth. But yeah, it works pretty good. Dude, literally, yo, I nigga, let me tell you something, bro. I seen police literally like, all right, so here in Maryland, if y'all know anything about Baltimore, there's a group called the 12 o'clock boys. And what they would do is they would ride their dirt bikes and they would do tricks. And it's literally like hundreds of them. Every once in a while, they'd fly up the avenue or something like that. And it'd be like 50, 60, 70 of them, all of them on dirt bikes. And they nice too, yo. I mean, these kids could literally do some like stunt show stuff with the type of tricks and talent they do on these bikes. It's unbelievable how good these guys are at this stuff because that's all they do. And they do these tricks and they fly up the road. And then you have these police officers that get pissed off. They put a mandate out in Baltimore that you're not supposed to chase those kids on those bikes because what happens is they don't end up catching the kids. They end up hitting somebody else trying to catch them kids and end up getting themselves a lawsuit. So they actually passed a mandate that you're not even supposed to chase those kids, bro. They don't give a fuck about that, man. Let me tell you, yo. I was down fucking Lombard Street with my son. This is back in 2000. I want to say this was about '09. My son was about 1 year old. We crossing the street over West Lombard. I'm literally just parked my car, got my son up the car, and walking across the street. And this four wheeler flies down the street, and he clears and makes a right in the alley. And I'm great as I thought it was over and shit. So I'm literally got my son by the hand, and I'm stepping out on the curve, off the curve into the street with my son. And this fucking giant police truck flies and makes a right and almost drifts and fucks me and my son up just to chase this goddamn four wheeler down the alley. I'm like, bro, y'all motherfuckers is retarded as fuck because y'all, that's the ego shit I be talking about, yo. This is why these motherfuckers got spotlights on them because of shit like this. Like, yo, let him go. You didn't catch him, okay? Catch him next week. You ready to kill people over that shit, man. Y'all need to chill out somewhere. It's the egos. We can't let him get by. I'm a cop. I'm a super cop. I can't let him escape. I gotta get him. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit, man. That's stupid. Let that shit go, man. Crazy. But yeah, so these guys, man, they'll do all this stuff, flying back and forth, and these mandates are put out, and whenever it's something that they don't like or they don't feel like they gotta adhere or something like that, they'll ignore it. But when it's some stupid ass mandate or something like that, you can't hold your phone while you're even if you're driving, you can't hold your phone while you're driving while you're operating commerce. Oh, you can't hold your phone when you're driving. That's a fine. Like, fuck out of here, man. All that shit is basically put in line to just fuck you up. Oh, really? So you telling me moving out of state, they got to give you the certificate of origin? Get out of here, man. Really? Oh shit. So how do you determine where your car actually came from then? Like, let's say I have a used car now, and I wanted to determine where it actually came from. How would I go about finding that out? I guess you could do a Carfax, right? I guess you could probably do a Carfax. No, they can't. Yeah, you got my email, William, and my email's in the description box, man. Go ahead and slide me that, bro, because I'm interested in looking at that. That's dope, yo. That's good stuff. Yo, you know what's interesting? I actually do colloidal silver. I have some colloidal silver, platinum, and gold, and something else in there, but I have it in the cabinet. And I actually meant to take it this week. The only thing about taking it though, like when you drink it, it's nasty as hell, but it's not the nasty part I'm worried about. Like, yo, when I take that shit, bro, I literally feel weak the next 4 days. Like my body is tired as fuck. Like, yo, when I go to work and I'm doing what I do, yo, my arms are hard to hold up and stuff. You just get exhausted because it's cleaning your system completely out and you get diarrhea all day and stuff. Not so much worried about the diarrhea though. It's just being weak for the next 4 days that bothers me, man. I like to be able to move around. But yeah, that stuff works good. If you ever got like some stomach issues or immune system stuff, you can go ahead and get that colloidal gold, silver, platinum. That stuff works pretty good. That's fucked up, yo. See, that's that bullshit. Whipped you with a chain. That's fucked up, yo. And they get away with shit like this, you know? It's fucked up. That's all right though, because like all this shit that's happening right now, there's about to be a lot of these motherfuckers getting hemmed up. You know, you can't keep doing shit like that and not have retribution. The universe is gonna pay you back. Yeah, send me that paperwork, bro. Always welcome, man. My inbox is always open, yo. Send me any information you have, something like that. I'm really about to dive into, yo, and I'm just gonna have to do it, and I'm just gonna notify y'all how it goes. My man Courtney knows about this too. But yeah, man, slide me that paperwork, bro. Definitely. I'm all for it. What is Hersheimer's reaction? What is that, bro? Yeah, take too much. Yeah, I actually saw a video on that where this dude was taking colloidal silver. It was a white dude. He took colloidal silver, I think, for 2 years straight, and his skin actually turned blue. You will turn blue if you are like lighter skin like I am. Your skin will actually turn blue if you take too much colloidal silver, and you can't get rid of it either. Once your skin turns, it won't turn back. But yeah, that's it's very interesting stuff. Yeah, the colloidal silver is dope though, man. It's once you take it and once it cleans you out and once you get past them 4 days, bro, you literally feel like a new man. Like you feel lighter, feel more clear, you don't feel tired, more energy, you can see further, your vision's more clear. It's great, man. And when you eat all this crap, it's basically they have parasites and stuff in them and it builds up in your gut. Like a majority of problem, word to Dr. Sabi, majority of problems you have start in your gut. And like he found that out. So he started, doing the natural way of cleaning your system out and fasting and stuff like that to allow your immune system to fight off any sicknesses. And it worked out. Yeah. That might have been what it is. Yeah, because I know after I took it, I got diarrhea, bro. Yeah. I know that it works though. It works. It just works a lot. It works a lot. Oh, really? The blue man is a propaganda lie. Yo, get out of here. He was ingesting silver nitrate. That's crazy. And he got over on me with that shit. He said it was a propaganda lie, huh? Yeah, I guess silver nitrate would do it though. Claimed it was colloidal silver. Yeah, so basically what the powder does, if you know how parasites work, parasites are little small creatures or whatever like that. And what it is it's like it's got like kind of like minerals or such in it. And when you drink it, the parasites try to eat the minerals and it slices them. It goes through the parasites and it kills them off. And when it kills them off, basically, when you take a dump, all the crap comes out of you pretty much. So it gets rid of all the parasites. But like my man was saying right here, it is a good idea. You still have to have some bacteria in your stomach. Like there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. But yeah, it does kill parasites. I can attest to that. Okay, so what silver's better than Will? Drop that, man. Drop that out so we can hear that. You come in here with some information, bro. We love it. Drop that information. Yeah, that's why I did it wrong because I would do the drink the colloidal silver after a meal. So maybe that's where I did it wrong at. Maybe that's what I did wrong because I would do it right after I ate a meal, right before I went to bed. Because I figured, the next morning I have all day to shit. My email is right in the description box. It's leehums@yahoo.com. And you can send it there. I'll get it right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be looking into that all week because this is it's interesting stuff. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Facts. Yo, y'all go follow my man Yosef, man. Follow this dude up real quick. This man dropping good stuff. But we trying to keep ourselves healthy too. We need to be able to keep our minds and bodies healthy. Y'all need to be. Here's the thing. We talked about this. Y'all need to be out there getting your blood flow up at least 3 times a week. Y'all need to be out there getting that heart rate moving. If you got to go out and go for a walk, if you can do 10 push-ups before bed, it don't matter if you feel like it or not, just do that shit, yo. We need to keep that blood flowing so we can stay sharp. We got to give our mind a chance to be able to react properly to certain situations and be able to process information. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we functioning right physically. So we got to take care of our bodies. Got to. Go ahead and send it over, bro. But yeah, man, we gotta be able to do that, man. We gotta be able to do that. We gotta take care of our bodies too, so we can stay sharp. Yeah, send that out to everybody, man. We all waiting. So yeah, man. I think that's pretty much ball game for the night, fellas. If y'all got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them before I jet off of here. But we coming up on a hour and a half. Pretty good discussion we had today. We passed out some good information. We got some cats in the comment section dropping some good info. We got some emails being sent out, and we just have a new piece of information we're gonna work on, and that's getting the certificate of origin. So that's what we're looking into now. That's what it is. So I'm gonna be doing my research on that, and I encourage you to do the same, folks. And I guess we'll go into like 1:35. If y'all got any questions, I'll answer them right now before I jet. Here we go. My man just sent the email over now. I'm reading the joint now. Hold on. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a read here. So A6 besides my passport. Let's put this up there. So A6 besides my passport and maybe some of the docs that Bad Wolf has. Do you recommend carrying anything? Of course. Of course. That's a great question, Cooper. That's an excellent question. All right. So I have a video here. Let me find this video because that's a great question and we need to all be on the same page. So I've done a video on this before. But if you didn't catch it, let me link it right here so y'all can watch it. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Can't even find my own damn video. Hold up. Give me one sec. Pull this up. There we go. Here we go, right here. All right, this is called the additional helpful documents. I'm gonna drop this for y'all to go ahead and take a look at. This right here is gonna be something. If you're new here and you aren't familiar, take a look at this video right here. This is called additional helpful documents, and since then I've added 2 more documents into this folder or into this joint. I've added the Department of State note to the North Carolina Police Department about the right to travel and foreign nationals. I've added that. That's very powerful because if they try to overtalk you with some bullshit, it's right there. And it says that they have a problem with following the order, then they just refer them their name and they will talk to them themselves. So, yeah, that's one of the most powerful tools I have in my arsenal. But I've added that. And I've also added the definition of driving, I think. I don't think I had that before. I'm not sure why I didn't. But yeah, I added that also. The definition of driving from Black's Law Dictionary. I printed that up, and I had the Department of State note for the foreign nationals' right to travel. So yeah, I got that. So yeah, all you do is, man, pull your passport card out and start pulling out your documents for real. I'll be honest with you, honestly, like I wouldn't recommend this, but you could probably get away with just using those documents without a passport card because the documents are clear. But I like the passport card personally. Yeah, so Kevin, you missed a lot. You gonna have to rewind it because I'm about to jump off here in a minute, man. That was a long ass shower. God damn, must have had a woman in there with you. Yeah, but see the thing about the Black's Law Dictionary, they like to change the definitions when people start to use their bullshit against them. So they try to change shit around. It's called airbending. Dude named Barricade Garage was talking about that the other day too. How they basically change definitions and shit to fit their narrative. So if you're using that definition against them and it's not working for them, they'll change the definition. Fuck that. They obviously changed it because they were getting ass whipped with their own words. Congratulations, brother. You got your first automobile or your first personal conveyance. That's great shit. I did get it. Thank you, William. I did get it. I'm gonna look into it. That's what I was reading that second while I was quiet, but I'm gonna read it. I'm definitely gonna read it. All right, folks. Well, look, I'm about to jet off of here, man. It was nice talking to y'all tonight. We had some good information that was exchanged, and we're gonna go ahead and make another move probably this Sunday coming up. If I have any additional information that jumps out, I will be doing another video and drop it on my channel. Meanwhile, is a foreign national born natural. I will holler at y'all later. Peace out. Take it easy.